PC and tablets, we have the good ones, we have the bad ones. They both have their comparisons, they always have their goods and bads, their highs and downs, and they have their pros and cons. For instance, PCs, we know they have the better quality of things. We know that they have more hardware compatibilities, they have more customization, and they have more things they can do based on graphics school. They can work with different types of programs, multitask, and gaming, for instance. Tablets have those limitations. Only so much hardware can be used in them. There's limitations in hardware, how much games can be handled on them, and how far we can customize them with how limited they are. Comparing to hardware, PCs have the bigger plus on this part. And based on facts, we always can tell that you can open them up, especially desktops, change video cards, change the processors, change the motherboard, and change other forms of the computer. When it comes to tablets, we know that these small, compressed computers can only do so much. These computers, which we consider a tablet, only have limitations of so much. They have a smaller form of GPU, that way it doesn't overheat. They have only so much RAM which can fit on the small motherboard that is given, and the type of hard drive, it's a flash type of hardware, where the memory is virtual, meaning it can load up faster, but at the same time, it doesn't have that much for overheating purposes. So technically, customization, when we want to change a tablet, the tablet can not be changed. We'd have to buy a whole new tablet, which means more money comes out of our pocket. When it comes to a PC, we can build upon what we have, open it up, change it out, we have a new PC, which means we save money and we can do more with it. We might spend more than a tablet, but at the same time, the hardware configuration can be done better. For many reasons, we have more cooling processors. We can add more fans. There's such as liquid cooling, which will keep the system cool. And right there, it brings in the power of how PCs are actually better than tablets in the process of which one has the better benefits. The next part I'm going to be talking about would be gaming. For instance, PCs have hardware where gaming can be better. Gaming for computers is basically worldwide now. It can be competitions in Korea, for instance. They even have cafes that are gaming cafes, and they play games for competitions worldwide with other people. For PC-wise, gaming can be very intense. We have video cards for that matter. The ATI Radeons, the NVIDIA GeForce series, 400 series, 500 series, and soon to be the 600 series. In the process, that's where it all comes into the power of the gaming, the video cards. Tablets don't have that. Tablets will have a processor, and they have their limitations with gaming. With the video cards and PCs, there's the ways you can mix and match with the CPU and the GPU. The CPU will give you the power to run multiple GPUs at the same time based on the game you want to play. When it comes to an MMO like World of Warcraft, it's CPU based, meaning the brains of the computer. The computer brains is what runs the PC along with its food, which is the RAM. The more RAM you have, the more filled the PC will be, so that the brain works faster. So technically, the more food it intakes, the faster the computer will be, and the more it can run. And with World of Warcraft being CPU based, it'll be the more RAM it gets, the faster the CPU will run with that game. Including Battlefield 3, for instance, that's GPU based, meaning the graphics engine, which would be the video card. The video card can be changed. It can be upgraded from the 400 series from 460 which is GeForce 460 through GeForce 480, compared to the GeForce 500 series, which is GeForce 460 Ti, the GeForce 590. Those are the powerful video cards, but each game has its pros and cons for the video cards, and the CPUs mix and match. When it comes to tablets with gaming, that's where the tablets are limited. They can only do so much, the graphics can be only done so much to where it can be handled. Some tablets are actually bloated up with bloatware or software and apps that are not needed, which slow down the tablet and ruin gameplay experiences. So rendering, for instance, some tablets have better rendering than others, like the Zoom and the Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy 10.1-inch tablets. Well, since the Galaxy is more new, it has better processing rendering. For video games, it has better resolution compared to the Zoom, which is the Motorola Zoom. The Zoom can only done so much, while the Galaxy can do a little bit more than the other, and so forth with the comparison. The other one can do so much with each other. Each one has its pros and cons. With tablets and gaming, it goes to the point where the tablets have a lot worse graphics than they would with PCs, because of the fact they don't have video cards. So technically, with the Tegra-based tablets, which is Android-based, they are the software 3.2. The tablets, it's hard to explain, have a processor that is based on video gaming, which is made by NVIDIA, one of the video card developers, who run their software and update their cards constantly. The processor actually is very powerful, and it can run video games, for instance, like Arma 2, which is an Army-based video game for tablets, and a couple other MMOs which have good graphics, but they're not the best. For instance, like Pocket Legends. It's a good small MMO. I have it on my cell phone, for instance, which is Android-based, and it's a mobile type of video game, which is played on tablets and mobile phones, which is made for Android and iPad. For instance, iPad has different resolutions and different schematics of how it runs games, and because of the OS, some things are going to be better than the other. But like I said, the PC is going to be more powerful in this instance because of how it can be customized for better graphics, better performance with video games, and so forth, compared to the tablet where it has its limitations with gaming. It's not meant for gaming, it's more meant for networking and schooling. And that's where we're going to lead to school. With PCs and schooling, you can do a lot more. Like for Photoshop and web browsing, it can be ran smoother based on the amount of hardware you have. For schooling, you have graphic intensive programs sometimes, and sometimes you have to have multiple programs open. Multi-programming is the best part about PC. PCs can have several programs, up to 8, maybe more, based on how strong the PC is and how it's built. Like I have a Core i7 3.2 GHz processor, the brains of the computer, with 12 gigs of RAM for my system, which is the food. I can run up to 12 programs at once with 2 video games running at the same time, and it slows down, but to the point where it's still able to be ran with no problem. While a tablet, for instance, and if I was to do that, it couldn't do it. A tablet can run multiple programs in the background, but it cannot multitask them at the same time. Meaning, if I wanted to run 2 games, it would close out one game and load the other for a tablet, compared to the PC, where the PC could run multiple games at the same time. You can lower it, still run it, while on the tablet it would close out the game so it can run the other program. That, for instance, is one powerful multitasking which is more powerful than PC with multitasking. And then you also have the PC where it has 32-bit and 64-bit. That's the type of operating system you run for Windows-based PCs. 64-bit means it can run more. It can hold more RAM. It can hold more processing power and whatnot. While 32-bit can only run so much. That's like the tablet for a 32-bit and a tablet. Tablets can run only so much in the system. For multitasking gets really strict with tablets, and tablets actually have trouble multitasking. Especially when you have a lot of things running in the background. Which there's applications where you can cancel everything from running, but at the same time, multitasking on a tablet can slow down the tablet and make it run completely slow. While on the PC you close out the program, it runs smoothly again. Even with multitasking, it's still runnable with multitasking, with several programs at the same time. That is where another thing comes into play, which makes PCs a lot better when multitasking. And that's pretty much why I'm talking about PCs are better. Why PCs have more power, why they're better with gaming, and why they're better with multitasking in school. While compared to tablets, they're not the best. They have their limitations. Limitations where you can't do as much at the same time. Gaming is not the best form. They lag out, meaning slow down. They don't run as well with games. They have frame rate drops, meaning how fast the game will run. Based on our eyes can only see 60 frames per second. Meaning if, with how this camera is running for instance, my lips seem to slow down in the process of speaking. Meaning the camera's not running as fast as it should be. So basically, overall, PCs do have the power over tablets. While it shows tablets are not the best for running multitasking, well, they're not the best for gaming, and they're not the best for customizations compared to PCs. PCs have the power over all of this, and PCs do have the power of being better than tablets based on this. So overall, as a conclusion comes, PCs are better. And they both have both types of things. The tablets and the PCs do have their pros and cons. PCs are more powerful in many aspects by a mile with what you can do with them. While tablets have more pros based on if it's a laptop computer you're comparing it to. Laptops you can travel with just like a tablet. Tablet's technically a laptop in your hands, but is limited just like a laptop, because laptops have just as much as have less customization as a desktop computer, but at the same time are just like a tablet. They're limited. So overall, a desktop PC is better than a tablet. Thank you.